Good Monday morning and welcome to your weather today and the debut of our high definition studio. Well, June's severe weather is picking up right where May left off. Storms are already firing at this hour in Nebraska and the Dakotas. So find out if any of them are severe and why we'll need to watch cities from Des Moines to Memphis very closely. Hurricane season is underway, but you would never know it by the activity on Miami Beach. We will go live to Storm Tracker Jim Cantori for a look at what this year may hold. Plus, the weather this morning in the Northeast isn't just nice, it is breathtaking. So learn how long it will stay that way and when temperatures will really begin to heat up. And welcome to your weather today on this Monday. I'm meteorologist Heather Tesh.
And I'm meteorologist Marshall Cease.
All right, thanks so much for joining us here on Day Planner. I'm Jennifer Lopez.
And I'm Kevin Robinson.
Hello, we're watching out for more severe weather this afternoon. Thanks so much for joining us for Weather Center. I'm Vivian Brown.
And I'm Nick Walker.
Hey, cool new graphics here, cool new look here at the Weather Channel.
New sound.
I'm liking it.
What's going on around here?
I don't know, but it is sounding good. We thank you for joining us for PM Edition.
And we could just feel the whole house moving. We thought the house was going to start coming apart.
The damage is extensive in northern Ohio with homes torn apart by Mother Nature. Find out when the ravaged area will face more storms.
Extreme heat over the next few days could challenge records across the southern plains. Wait until you see just how hot it will get.
Plus, the remnants of Arthur are still producing plenty of problems over southeastern Mexico. Hurricane expert Dr. Steve Lyons will join us with a look at the aftermath and what we can expect for the rest of the season. Into Abrams and Bettis Beyond the Forecast. We're glad you could be with us here in our new temporary studios.
That's right.
For 2 weeks because we're going HD, baby. And they say, in a relationship, you got to, keep it hot, keep things changing and moving so that you keep everyone interested. That's what we're trying to do to you, our viewers.
What are people saying about us then? Are we stale? Are we getting stale?
Yeah, so I'm trying to mix it up for our viewers.
All right, folks, welcome.
And right now we're tracking a lot of scattered thunderstorms across the country, including a couple of severe thunderstorm watches. The latest one issued until 1 a.m. local time. And again, scattered thunderstorms also across the southeast, moving into Florida as well. And let's move into Florida. In fact, today is June 2nd, the second day of June, also the second day of the Atlantic hurricane season. And that's where we find our compadre, Jim Cantori, Storm Tracker Jim Cantori, tracking on South Florida to see how they are preparing for this year's hurricane season. Jim?
Hey, Paul, good to see you, man. At HD, you look even better, big fella. Hey, we're going to be back at you guys. Talk about this seasonal forecast issue. What's the deal with it? In case you're one of those viewers still wondering what they mean exactly, we are going to tell you as we bring you EE in HD.
We're starting this week with more stormy and severe weather. Chicago, Indianapolis, we've got the timeline on when these storms will reach you.
Hey, ice cream! How about some cold water? Well, you need something to cool you down as temperatures heat up in the south. And find out where you could see highs hotter than 100 this week.
It's day 2 of the Atlantic hurricane season, and we've already had our first tropical system. What's left of Arthur? And could we see a new storm in the eastern Pacific? Dr. Steve Lyons details the tropics coming up.
Good evening and welcome to the very first evening edition in high definition. I'm Paul Goodlow.
Hi, everyone. I'm Alexandra Steele. Hi, everyone, and welcome back. It is 50 past the top of the hour. This time of year, that means one thing. Time for a tropical update with our hurricane expert, Dr. Steve Lyons.
And Dr. Lyons, again, Tropical Storm Arthur is gone in name, but certainly not with the threat of heavy rain.
It sure is, and it's still wreaking havoc in Central America, some very heavy flooding in the mountainous areas. And this time of year, that's rather typical. What basically happens is that we see a lot of the storms form in the Western Caribbean and the Gulf of Mexico. You can see that on our dot graphic of formation areas in June. And basically what that shows us is that if you look back, 5 of those dots have occurred in the last 7 years and eventually ended up striking the coast of the United States as tropical storms. So it's an area that is typically very close to the coast when it happens, and we get impacts from them, and that's what we've gotten obviously from Arthur so far. Even though it's gone, it's still there in the form of rain, and there you see the heavy rain here. You can see Honduras, Nicaragua, all the way over to El Salvador and up. Very heavy rain, a big area of disturbed weather, and the most threatening areas tonight basically are in this area I've outlined here, including central Nicaragua, the mountains of Honduras, and some very heavy rain there right now, and including all the way up into southern Mexico, where another little low pressure center is starting to form. Now, what is this thing? Why has it been so persistent? If we look on a little broader scale, we see it's a much larger feature than just a single little low pressure center. And we put a couple of features on here. Basically, what we see is this. We've seen a trough of low pressure that's come up and lines along here right along this axis, and one of the axes is in the eastern Pacific. It comes all the way across, and the axis extends all the way across the Cayman Islands, and some of this moisture is pushing northward. But this is the area of concern for heavy rains the next 24 to 36 hours. Now, that pushing of moisture northward, we can start to see that already. The line is here right in the southern Florida Straits. It may actually push northward over the next couple of days into South Florida. More humid weather basically is the impact there. Meantime, the rest of the tropical Atlantic, fabulous weather in the Antilles, absolutely gorgeous, including the Barbados. Puerto Rico and the Virgin Islands, we're going to have a little bit of shower action tomorrow, and a little more cloudy than normal, but nothing in the way of any tropical cyclone development. It's basically going to be nice weather there as well. Now let's go across into the eastern Pacific, where we saw that one low pressure center there, and that is the potential right in here for a tropical depression to form over the next couple of days. But if you're heading up to Acapulco, Puerto Vallarta, or Cabo San Lucas, it's been very warm there, and you'll have great weather. In the meantime, in the far western Pacific, we've had a typhoon out there. It's long since gone past Japan. So that's a tropical update. Paul, Alexandra?
All right, thanks. That's our hurricane expert, Dr. Steve Lyons.
Well, do stay with us. Coming up in just 2 minutes, an update on tonight's storms, where they are and where they're headed.